What's going on, folks? Today we're talking about why some cases move at lightning speeds. I got to do the quotations because USCIS is not quick for everyone. Number one, it's typically a case through USCIS, and your sponsor is a U.S. citizen, and it's a marriage case. Now, other cases like VAWA, adult child filing for a parent, a U.S. citizen adult child, you would also think that those should be processed faster. I totally understand anyone's concern, but in general, the lightning speed is for people who are in the U.S., okay, may have overstayed, but you definitely have entered with a visa, or maybe you qualify for something called 245I. Maybe you had a brother or sister file for you a long time ago, before April 2001. It's a lot of dates I got to keep in my mind, and our team is trained on as much of it as possible. Keep in mind, when you do call in or a CARES team member call you, they're not a lawyer, okay? So keep that in mind. So inherently, I understand you're going to have some legal questions. They will certainly write that down for you and for us so that I can be ready for that question, okay? And so anyways, the main case that USCIS is prioritizing for speeding through, and I think it's is marriage-based cases where the beneficiary, foreign national, the immigrant, is living in the United States. I think the key reason why is workflow. Just like we consider that in terms of our operation, our law firm, we streamline cases because I'm able to train the team what to do in certain steps of the case, what information to share with a client, for example, certain step of the case, so that you all have information that you need to know. There's nothing missing, or share a Dropbox folder, things like that. We're very transparent in everything. The files, the fees, you would know that in the contract. There's no surprise fees later on. So in some ways, that's generally what we call standard operating procedure, SOPs, or workflow. So with the government, it's much easier for them to have a standard checklist to process quickly. But also keep in mind, ever since the pandemic, many people quit in general. I don't have the numbers how many people quit, but they all complained about that, right? USCIS was saying, I need more money so I can hire people. Congress does not fund USCIS, okay? They get funded by you, okay? When you pay those fees, that's how they pay their employees. So unfortunately, they can only process a certain type of case faster than others. And of course, the most common one is marriage to a U.S. citizen, which, by the way, folks, I know a lot of people kind of like have this, I don't know how you call it, like a weird joke that, why don't you just get married to a U.S. citizen? We all know that's not easy, okay? I know some of y'all on dating apps. I've heard great stories from dating apps. So use whatever technology can help you. But keep in mind, we do think about other options, not just marriage. So that's why we call ourselves the immigration problem solvers, right? Hopefully to prevent a problem in the first place. Happy to point you in the right direction. Keep asking those questions in the comment section. I'll definitely get to that as soon as I can. So that's one of the main things. And so here I want to share you some indication, right? People ask, well, if I receive this letter, does this mean I'm going to get my case, the interview waived? If you receive a letter from USCIS, and this means you already filed your case, probably been at least a week or two, you already received the receipt notice, but if you get a courtesy RFE, it's typically, and they usually actually say that in the top, courtesy RFE, then it's probably for the medical exam. And if they ask you for that and they say mail it in, that's a clear indication that, well, I won't say clear, it's a pretty good indication that your case is going to be waived, the interview, okay? The interview will likely be waived. We've seen that time and time again. Can't say for every single case, but the thing is, the difference is that years before the pandemic and the first couple of years of the pandemic, up until beginning of 2023, is that when we received the courtesy notice to bring in medical exam, it would actually say bring it to the interview. But these days, it would say just mail it back in to the USCIS office at the address below, right? So that's a pretty good indication. But at the same time, if you're like thinking, well, I provided very few bank statements, joint account, or you didn't have a shared account at all, you need to get your act together and do that now. Okay, get a joint account together, checking account preferred, only has to be one account. Doesn't have to be every single one of them. I know some of y'all are scared. What is he or she going to do? You just got to dive right in. If you don't trust him or her on that, maybe you shouldn't get married. I'm not a marriage counselor or a therapist, right? But I've seen it time and time again that anytime someone doesn't share it, some reason, some people, there's the stories we heard, we vet pretty good screen wise, no fake cases. We just don't got time to deal with that. We screen it pretty good. I can tell. It's almost like I haven't been trained by USCIS. It's almost like I should train USCIS. That's how stringent we are. But that's the main thing. And unfortunately, on the flip side, people are wondering, well, what about my case? I'm abroad, or my spouse is abroad, my fiance is abroad. We're marriage case, or my case can be faster. Just inherently no, because of there's, I think, still almost around 400 to half a million people waiting abroad, applicants. So if you have not filed your case already, and you think you could apply and you're not married yet, but you're about to be, you might want to consider applying for a visitor visa. That's all I can say for now. And you're welcome to ask us other questions or contact us. Okay, YouTube, Facebook, you got the number right there. The website, by the way, is greencardguys.com. All right, folks, thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. Take care now. Bye-bye.